Hi everyone. So this one is about the Charvel Henrik Danhage guitar, which I bought quite some time ago now, new from Thomann. And after it's been out now quite some time, I thought let's compare it to some opinions I read on the dealer websites and some reviews and see how it holds up. But first, let's take a look of how it arrived and unbox it. You will hear some random guitar noodling to see or to hear how this guitar sounds or what it can do. So yeah, let's take it out of the box. Demos, I think there are a lot of good ones on YouTube. I personally really enjoyed the ones from Ola England and EOG because it was really fun that Henrik really did send them real personal owned gear. So yeah, very cool. But yeah, back to this guitar. As you saw in the unboxing, the protection of the case was quite good. It's kind of a soft hard shell solution, and for this shipping and light transportation, I think it's good. For some more frequent transport, I would maybe put on some padding on the shoulders and monitor the hooks a little bit. And for even more frequent traveling or even touring, I think I would upgrade that to a hardshell case, but overall I think it's good. The guitar itself looks like it should. The relic design is same for everyone, just the wood grain differs. I wasn't aware that the back cavity plate is recessed, so you have an even surface, which I find very nice. So one thing I especially noticed on this particular guitar is that the trem arm is feeling a little bit clunky, if you say that, when it's not fully tightened. So that means if I lose it a little bit and use it or let it just go, maybe it's related to kind of dimension tolerances or even the aging job they done to that. It gets this kind of warbly, clunky sound sometimes. So I will blend it in just to give you an idea of this. I never experienced that before on my other guitars, so I thought I'd mention it. There's also some noise coming from the springs. Not the worst I ever had, but definitely worth of changing them to noiseless ones. You're just on the safe side when you're recording with this guitar. Also, regarding the pickups, that was kind of a really main thing I liked on that guitar. I tried it quite some time ago, I think when it was released, and really enjoyed it, but now playing around with it here in my own setup, I really enjoy the setup with the single coil. It has this really typical sound, and you also don't get a volume drop compared to each other, so the humbucker to the single coil, which is sometimes the case. So yeah, very cool. And yeah, let's see, maybe we get Henrik's red one sometime. That was teased quite a while ago now. Yeah, that would be really cool. Now to come to some comments, especially on the Thomann website. If you go to the guitar site and read the comments, you will find some, or yeah, quite a few, saying that the setup is very bad up to the point that it's unplayable. So unfortunately, I can confirm that this guitar also arrived in a very bad setup. Yeah, I did let it sit for a day to adapt to the conditions here, and then gave it a shot, take it apart, and yeah, did really need to set up the tremolo. I needed to lower it and also adjust the neck because the action was so high, and yeah, it was not that good setup, or maybe it's also related to transport conditions. I mean, it's made in Mexico. It's a long way to Germany, so yeah, maybe this also has something to do with it. Another thing I mention is that the strings felt extremely sticky. I mean, that's nothing major to worry about because you will change that anyway. But I just wanted to try out how this guitar sounds and what I would prefer or what speaks to me. So I wanted to keep the stock strings on it a little bit to play around. And yeah, they felt a little bit sticky, so if you have the same problem or experience the same issue, I always recommend to put on some GHS Fast Fret or similar from Dunlop or whatever. That really helps and yeah, gives you kind of a first good playable string feeling to it. At At the time of this recording, I was only able to find comments at Sweetwater, speaking of dealers outside EU or located in the US, but nothing from kind of Guitar Center or Amazon or whatever. And yeah, Sweetwater, everything looked fine. So this might be related to their own inspections they're doing. So I assume that really helps with the setup issue. The 55 points checklist shows that a playability test is performed and neck relief and the action are being tested. With that said, my personal assumption is that the transport has an influence. So for a Thomann customer, it gets shipped from the country of origin, which is Mexico, to Germany, whatever stages are in between. Temperature shifts will happen. I don't think that those instruments are shipped temperature controlled, and so yeah, I assume that this has an effect or impact on the instrument setup. However, this guitar at the time I bought it was at number 20 of the most sold ST models on the Thomann website, so I think that's a huge success for a signature model. And yeah, it seemed to be very popular, and I personally can understand. I really enjoy playing this guitar. So maybe it's also related that you can't really see that there's a connection to Henrik or to Evergrey. So even if you're not a fan of the band or the person, you can still play it without displaying the band or the person. I'm still very happy with my purchase. With every new Floyd Rose equipped guitar, it's kind of a headache and you have to put in some work, but it's very rewarding and yeah, it gives me at least a connection to the instrument. However, those cheap Floyd Rose systems I would exchange anyway. The 1000 here is very, very nice. Yeah, and also the pickup combination and the placement of the knob with the push-push. Pot, very cool, best design ever. So if you're in the market, definitely check one out. And regarding the setup, I mean, what should you do? Move to the US? No, that's just joking. Yeah, if you're not really willing to put in some work, maybe get it set up by your store or a luthier, and then you will definitely have a lot of fun with this guitar. Yeah. Speaking of fun, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will play you out with some ashtray solo style. And yeah, until next time, take care.